mentally fit so that you're listening to blend.
To Lázougi Life here on your number one electronic episode. How are you doing this? Had a nice day, okay? It's a pleasure to be here once again to join you as we get into our talk in electronic music, okay? I was a week because this past week I must say, I have been able to during this period, okay, and I hope that you have also been able to make the best with, but at the same time you've been able to surmount whatever challenges that there's thrown your way, okay, times, and then we are able to discover how strong we have actually always been without us ever knowing. On this episode of Blend, where it works, I have or should I say, an in-depth social analysis of all of these issues and many more. Okay, that one way or another will leave something with you to think about. Okay, something must say. Definitely are itching to be part of education. You can be part of our community. Weighing on our various topics, sharing your thoughts and opinions, okay? And if you're listening, scrolling down to the comment section, we can, have a wonderful time doing that, okay? Before we get into the topic for today, due to the poor internet connection that I was experiencing in those places, and most of, or should I say majority of what we talked about last week was after a stream is concluded, it takes so much of the poor internet chopped up in various places, and it wasn't a nice experience at all. And for those of us who were live listening, I know that must have affected. What I'm going to do is I would really like the song, that wonderful experience on this episode. I'm in my favor, okay, because I've been trying to, there's some things that will be on my control. Anyway, let's get into the music. The song is called Pompous. Stay tuned to the station, okay, so don't go anywhere.
number one electronic music station. Yeah, in Gardens Square.
Welcome back in God Knows Where. This is Blend episode 24. The song you listen to during the music break was called Pompous. Hope you had a nice time listening to that and you enjoyed that one. Probably should have gotten me a glass of water during the break because no one was wrong with my throat. It's time for us to get into our topic and to get into our conversations. Of course, you already know that there are plenty of music on our playlist for us to have a nice time with as we talk, as well as we get into our conversations. We'll be listening to more music. Okay, so just sit back, relax, be compile top 5. I'll be compiling, or should I say, my top 5 Redpill maxims. Okay, and words and that contain a lot of wisdom in them. Okay, a lot of wisdom pertaining to Redpill awareness. Okay, and for me, this top 5 maxims of mine as a result of having taken the Redpill and doing some extensive research about the subject, and these maxims are my current personal top 5. Let me put it that way, current personal, because they are subject to change, or should I say subject for Redpill aware. Definitely, I know that there are many more besides these 5, many more besides these 5 that I'm compiling in this tier list. 5 of my, should I say, most internalized Redpill maxims, because I decided to just think of 5 of these maxims off the top of my head, without having to do some so I decided to see the top 5 Redpill maxims I could remember from my extensive research and of the subject. So I pulled this five off my memory because I figured that as far as I could remember these five, they were probably my most internalized. And I would like to put them in a tier list, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, they're like why sayings, okay? They're like why yeah. A magic word like abracadabra that is used to uh, create magic, but in this instance, rather than perform magical tricks, it's used to banish any thoughts that might lead to you going astray as you go. The word, just like the word said, used to banish any thoughts that might lead to you going astray in your and the tier list would be the wall is undefeated. That's my number 5. Is simply a gentle reminder oneself that a subject to depreciation over, or that can be also, you can also say that simply just reminds you of the fact that over time the beauty of a woman depreciates. It depreciates, and that's the way nature is. And every woman is subject to this, and will experience this over time. So as a man, as a man, so it reminds one that while you may possibly be thinking of hooking up with someone from your past who recently crossed paths with you, and you might be thinking of hooking up with a person, and perhaps this person is that is this lady or this woman is someone who you knew in your past, and now you want to hook up with her. It reminds you that the older she gets, the faster she approaches the wall. That is, the faster her beauty depreciates, and sooner or later it's definitely going to happen. And it makes you ask yourself the question that why now? Okay, why now? Have you made your attempts to get with her in the past and she declined? Makes you ask the question that, or should I say, it gives you the awareness that in the past her beauty would have been much better than it is presently, because over time the beauty of a woman depreciates and the wall is undefeated. It is a fact, and it is something that all women are aware of, and they experience it and they know. But as a man, you are being kept in the dark about it until it's too late. yeah, you're being kept in the dark about it. That the older she gets, the more she has to cover up fading beauty with makeup for you not to be aware that she's subject to the wall. Anyway, that is all I can say about the top, or should I say that is all I can say about my number 5 Redpill maxim, and that is the wall is undefeated. Next up on the list, on my tier list, is my number 4. My number 4 Redpill maxim on this tier list would be that that's just a counter argument um, to instances when women try to rationalize some scenarios by saying not all women are like that, honey, all women are like that. There are patterns we deny that you as a man in every one of them, and as you continue to become more red pill aware, you continue to realize that all women are like that. Going back to number 5, the wall is undefeated. All women are like that. Okay, so how do they put that? How do they say something my best? I don't really fucking care. But yeah, it just goes along that line. That is, if she doesn't, number 4 on my tier list is all women are like that. Five, 4, 3, 2, then you do a recap, then you drop number 1. Okay, yeah, that's how they do it. So she belongs to the streets. I'm kind of getting the hang of this, aren't I? This maxim warns against the possessive that do anything she wants to do about it. So rather than set yourself up for disappointment later on when she eventually does what she does according to the dictates of her nature, and in some cases as well, okay, when they hate it when you try to control them. They hate it when whatever where her pussy the girl they're with belongs to them. But number 2, wait, 2 and the soup. Okay, I hope you are having a wonderful time. You're also learning 1 or 2 things. Definitely, if you are just encountering you have a lot of digging to do, and this is just it's tip of the iceberg. In fact, it's just a summary. Like I said, it's men. Let's go for this end extension.
Spiritually fit so that you can always find it in yourself, to go deep. Mentally fit so that
back the way you were listening to last 48 minutes conversation. Okay, it's 12:17 a.m. on a Monday morning. Coming week, things are over here. We are definitely to we round up this, to we draw the curtains close on this episode of Blend. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, yeah. Number two, judge a woman by her actions and not by her words. You see, tends not to match the things they end up doing. They say one thing and they always end up doing something else, and they always definitely have this not congruence with the opposite sex. They say she wants someone who is sensitive, who is nice, who is caring, but we all know that's not the case. Okay, that's not the case, and over time men have realized something else. Yeah, she could tell you she loves you and you won't see her for a week. What's up with that? She could tell you she loves you today and the next day she'll get married to someone else. It makes no sense. And really remind her by what she actually does. And definitely, this is a Redpill maxim that goes that that also applies in other areas of life as well, and it speaks louder than words. Okay, so that's number 2 on my Red Pill magazine tier list, and I'll get into number 1 now. Number 1 on my desire cannot be negotiated. So that's my number 1. Number 2 is judge by our actions and not by our words. Take our words at face value. Don't get distracted, because that's what tends to. My number 1 magazine on my top 5 Red Pill magazine tier list. Yeah. Number 1 is desire cannot be negotiated. Desire cannot be negotiated. The thing about Red Pill magazines, if you're just hearing them for the first time, like I said, they're like magic words. Okay, maybe not the best analogy. They're like wise sayings. They have a lot of wisdom. They're like wise sayings that apply to interpersonal, so you can really understand it. Okay, so it just goes beyond saying men are trash without really having any logical explanations or whatever to back it up, or just no. So they have all these shaming tactics and rationalizations that they tend to say, like men are trash, man up. They are all the shaming tactics that they use to get men to feel guilt tripped. And us men, that the desire of a woman is not something that you can negotiate. Okay, once she stops feeling once she stops feeling that desire for you, that's it. Okay, it's not something that you can just talk a woman into and get her to feel in your mind. That once you perceive that she no longer desires you, the worst thing you can do in a relationship and is to try to talk your way into getting laid. That just in from a position of weakness, and it doesn't put you in a good light at all. Okay, so desire how to to do all the things that she is. That is just what that magazine represents. So yeah, let me put it that way. That is the interpretation of or the breakdown of that magazine. So yeah, these are my top 5 Red Pill magazines. The top 5 Red Pill magazines. Okay, it's a tier list of my top 5 Red Pill magazines. Or whatever. Just For now, these are um, my most internalized ones. Okay, as I become more conversant with the subject, definitely uh, there might be an update. You know, there might be an update for others as well that I find very useful in being able to, as a friendly reminder. Okay, in, they are useful to remind you and to direct you and to point out situations and scenarios that might eventually lead to you losing your relationship, or being on the losing side when it in your relationship, or going through a terrible breakup that might leave you shattered emotionally. Okay, that is, if you are unaware of, if you have been those yeah, all of these things are avoidable if you know what to look out for. Okay, so I want to say thank you for tuning in, thank you for listening, thank you for being part of this episode of Blend, and for sharing with us as well your own top 5 maxims. Okay, share with us right there in the comment section your own top 5 maxims. And one thing I also like about this maxims is they're like one liners. Okay, so they're very, very easy to remember. You don't have to do a lot of they're very easy to remember. Okay, although like I said, there are a lot of wisdom backing it up. Okay. Top 5 maxims. A lot of the should I say analysis of these maxims that I've done are just summaries. Okay, they are not like they are just it's just the tip of the iceberg of what these maxims represent. Okay, so you have to do your own extensive research in your own spare time, as I stated earlier. And yeah, definitely I'd also want you to share with us, if you have yours already, what these maxims are. And for those who are Redpill aware, definitely they will be able to comprehend these maxims without any need for further explanation, if you know what I mean. Okay, so once again, I want to say thank you for tuning in, thank you for listening. And yeah, what I want for you to do, if you want to be part of our family, what I'd like for you to do is, if you want to be part of our family, subscribe and turn on the notification bell next to the subscribe button, so you get notified when we are live. Okay, so do just that if you'd like to be part of our family here on your number one electronic music station. And do have a wonderful week ahead of you. I know you're eager to get back to work, so whatever you do, stay safe and take care of yourself. Have a wonderful week ahead, and we'll be back next week or later this week. Okay, because it's Monday. There's about 12:35 a.m. So it's a Monday morning. We'll be back later on this week for episode 25 of Blend here on your number one electronic music station in God knows you. My name is Lázougi, and take care of yourself once again. Bye.
You're listening to King of One Electronic Music Station in God knows where.